Hey, what's up, GW coming to you live Saturday morning, and it's about, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. A little bit better of a night last night. No rain. We had some wind, but that was about it. Um, so anyway, I checked out a movie you guys might like. I dug it. It's a slow burn, the first act, and then the second act it really ramps up, and I'm talking about the Ryan Coogler um movie Sinners. Now, if you haven't seen this yet, Michael B. Jordan, I guess at the Oscars or whatever award show they had, he cleaned up. I mean, this movie pretty much racked everything out of the park, from what I understand, and well deserved. Well deserved, so too. This is an interesting horror movie, but it's also, if you take the horror element out, it is a unique movie to say the very least. It's on Shutter right now. You guys can check it out. But wow, is it an interesting movie? It's about two brothers that they come back to the South where they grew up, and Michael B. Jordan plays twins. I did not know that, but yeah, check it out. Michael B. Jordan too was on Black Panther and Creed. If you guys, you know, if you guys know anything about it, they start over and they find out that things are not what they seem. Now, the beginning of the movie hooks you because it kind of sets you up for what's about to come later in the second half. This movie is also set in the 1930s, believe it or not. And the premise is these two guys, Michael B. Jordan and his brother in the movie, played by Michael B. Jordan, obviously, they they worked for Al Capone, and they come back and basically want to open up a juke joint, you know. And in doing that, they recruit all their old friends. Some of them are sharecroppers, some of them are picking cotton, and some of them are still, you know, still there from when they remember as kids, obviously, teenagers. And their music, I can't figure it out, but it's pretty unique. Their music awakens a group of vampires. So in the second half of this, you have a dusk till dawn type thing where they're in this club and they have to fight, and it gets quite gory and quite intense. The special effects in this movie are amazing. The uh, the core of the story is very cool, but like I said, it's a slow burn. But it really entertained me, and it's a really amazing thing to see. Um, you get to love these two characters, Michael B. Jordan's characters in here, because they are all fast talking, business wise, slick talking, you know, sort of gangsterish before gangsters were thought of. And they just have that attitude about them where they can pretty much talk their way out of some stuff. Uh, Cast is really good in this. The one thing is the vampires in here are pretty creepy because they kind of show up out of nowhere, and they're just unique in their mannerisms. So you will take that away. So let's start with the cast. As I mentioned a couple of times, you have Michael B. Jordan. He plays Smoke and Stack, two twin brothers that return to the South to an even greater evil than what they imagined. You have Haley Seinfeld as Mary. Mary's a cool character. Mary is the only white Caucasian, one of the only white Caucasian people in the film, and her character is pretty unique. Apparently, her and Smoke, excuse me, had a past in the film, You don't know exactly what happened because it's told in just dialogue. And there's something really eerie about her character in the second half. You have, I'm going to try to pronounce this, guys. You have Wumi Masaku as Annie. Annie is one of the old sort of magic practitioners, witches that uses herbs and medicine to try to heal everything and control auras. It's not really directly related, but her character is that. You have Miles Canton plays Sammy Moore. Delroy Lindo's in here. Delroy Lindo's been in a ton of movies. He plays Delta Slim. Delta Slim is an old drunk blues singer, which again, I'm going to have to reference. You guys will hear a lot of blues and music of that type era. You have Omar Benson Miller as Cornbread. Cornbread in the second half, you get to know him, but not that well. He is the security for when they get this juke joint going. You have Jamie Lawson, who plays Pearline, and then Lee June Liu plays Grace. I don't really know much about her. They don't really go into detail into this film. Now, if you're familiar with the blues, blues legend Buddy Guy plays himself in, or the older version of the Sammy Moore character at the very end. Now, there is a post-credit sequence that I almost missed, but it's kind of a neat little epilogue to what's going on. Sammy Moore, his character, you see him in the very beginning of the movie, and you really know something happened with this guy. He's got a smash guitar and he walks into a church, and it's pretty neat. And from there, the movie, like I said, takes a little bit of a slow burn till the second half. So there's that. Let's see. Now, also in this movie, since this is a 1930s movie, you're dealing with the aftermath of the KKK, which is referenced in the character of Hogwood. Hogwood is the guy that sells Smoke, the property at the very beginning. And you kind of know something, right? He looks like a character from the South, got the, boss hog hat, and he's got the mannerisms, and you know he's a down South boy. Now, you also have Jack O'Connell plays Remick. Remick is one of the lead vampires in this. And he shows up, and at first, the movie's kind of done well because it tricks you. You see this guy, coming up to this cabin door, and he's all bloody, and you think that, something bad happened and they don't show. But in essence, he is the one to carry out the vampire invasion, obviously. So, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Very good cast. Very good cast whatsoever. The film runs about 2 hours and 17 minutes. And once it gets going, guys, it's like an adrenaline rush. It kind of, like I said, once it gets going, it keeps its pacing very good. The gore is well done. The special effects are amazing, especially toward the end, the conclusion of the film. You have, people getting staked. You have people getting shot, people on fire. Fire is done really well. The CGI fire is amazing in this film. So, it's definitely really cool. But I am actually wrong, guys. I just said that guy was the lead vampire. He is not. The lead vampire is a guy named Peter G. Ramis. he plays a vampire named Bert, who is the singing vampire. So he's the lead vampire in this, not Jack O'Connell. I'm sorry. So, slight acting part on my part. The thing with this film is that it's almost hypnotic in nature because, like I said, you know something's going on. And if you didn't read about this film or know anything about it, it was just like Dusk Till Dawn. It was put together just like it, where it starts out as one story and then ducktails into a whole nother thing. And then you go through this whole vampire invasion. And then at the end, Michael B. Jordan, his character Smoke, is the last person, alive, obviously, next to Miles Canton's character, Sammy Moore. And there is a conclusion to the KKK angle, which is pretty wild. And this film does not shy away from being explicit. As I just said, there is a lot of blood and gore in this film. There's demonic transformations. There is, people getting their face blown off from gunshots. There's even an explicit sex scene that, two of them, that, tread the line. And it's done in a way where, again, grounded in realism seems to be, a filmmaker's choice right now. But it really is. It's definitely grounded in realism. And the thing that I found fascinating about this movie is, having known nothing in it, it was a very, very awesome movie. And you could see why it deserved a lot of awards. I mean, it's just playing twins, I know is rough, but he pulls it off very well. Just like in Double Impact with Van Damme. I mean, he played twins. And to have them together I know technology for cinema has come a long way, but they're in scenes together, him and his CGI thing, and it's great. It is a great movie. The movie is creepy, and it's, like I said, a gothic southern graphic horror picture. But the thing is, it's wildly entertaining, and it does blend a lot of music with it. And that's the one thing that I think people may find off-putting, is the fact that these guys are blues singers. They want to get a juke joint going. So the whole movie, you're saturated with blues music. You're saturated with Irish folk music, because that's what the vampires sing. But it's not done in a corny way. It's not like a Sweeney Todd where every line you have a song. Not mocking Sweeney Todd or anything. I like that movie. With Tim Burton and Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter. I love that film. But it's a very terrifying experience, because it captures, like I said, the look of the South, the myths of the South, the Southern Gothic vampire film, right? It captures the musical moments of that era, which that's what you had. And it captures the very look and feel of a Southern town. And it's pretty cool. Now, on another note, you could look at this thing and you could say, it's a supernatural thriller that uses vampires as like white supremacists, right? Because again, that's what you had. And there's even a mention of Jim Crow in the movie. It explores can't even talk. It has themes of community. It has things, it has themes of community, reference, choice, resilience, little bit of prejudice sprinkled in there, but it's done in a way where, again, and it has faith. There's a lot of faith in this movie. There's a couple of scenes filmed in a small church. And the whole point of it is, once they figure out that they're fighting vampires, what do we do? And like I said, it's an interesting movie. Now, you could dive deeper and just say, hey, it's a survival movie, you know, and it's a movie about, regular people versus demons in the South. You could say that. You could also say it's from the power of music, because actually, when when the when Sammy Moore in the film starts singing, is when the vampires draw out. You could actually say that is, the power of music to get people to pay attention and to show up and to celebrate this music. Well, in this case, vampires show up to annihilate this music. Basically, you could say that too. Um, it's you could go on and on and on, but the core of the movie is basically that it's a really cool, unique, very unique survival vampire gothic South tale, is what I would call it. And I was very impressed. And I wouldn't even have paid attention, but like I said, where I read the results of the Academy Awards or Oscars or whatever it was, and I seen it. Michael B. Jordan in this movie sort of cleaned up the whole thing, and I'm like, I'll check it out. And you know what? It was well worth it. It was well worth it. I really enjoyed it. It was neat, and you probably would have to watch this movie twice to fully get the full impact of it. Because at first glance, you're just going, whoa, like what's going to happen? The second point, you know what's going to happen, but you look for these hidden references, like the Jim Crow sentence, that's brought up, and you go, I watched this whole movie and didn't even realize that. Or you go, man, that ending scene really got me, the post credit scene. Very, very good. Like I said, Ryan Coogler did this. He did Black Panther and Creed. And I wouldn't even necessarily call this a black horror film. I would not. Now, Tales from the Hood, yes. No. This is, I would say, a period piece. A period horror piece, basically. And very, very good. Like I said, the DVD contains a bunch of special features, deleted scenes, which I should check out, but I was so into this that I didn't even want to stop to see what they took out. I was just like, you know what? Awesome. Let me tell these guys about it. Um, but yeah, very interesting. And it's done very, very cool. Like, it really is. I'm not, there's hardly any slow bits to it. The slowness of the first act kind of gets you into where you need to be for the second act, is basically what happens. So I recommend checking it out. I really enjoyed it, and it's on Shutter right now, and you can buy it on Amazon. But if you have Shutter, check it out there. And I guess it's on. I saw it on oh, I think it was Amazon. It was like number one or number two in the country, so it's a very popular film, and I hope it gains ground. The only negative I could say about this film is that the way that it was done, and even the post credit scene, it skips years after the events of the film here. And I'm wondering if we're ever going to have a sequel. I know it's probably not going to happen, but it would be nice to see if Ryan Coogler follows this up, or, come out with another film like set in the same time, just with different supernatural horror elements. But from top to bottom, the movie rocks. And having known nothing about it, that was part of the fun of it, going in and going, okay, what are we in for? And then finding out, and it's like, whoa. And it's a fun ride. It really is. So, on that note, I give Sinners about an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And definitely get it on 4K because it really pops. Um, Beyond that, I just wanted to say, I want to give a shout out to McKenna. I want to give a shout out to a lot of people. And there's one person, two people in particular, that I don't think I've referenced enough on this channel. And I'm just going to go into a little bit because now you got the movie review. So now I'm going to, just go with this. Um, you guys heard me talk one time about Steve Anderson and his daughter, Deborah. And I was talking to Deb yesterday, pulling trash. She's getting ready to get married, guys. And I wish her well. We're going to come to her wedding. I have known her dad for a long time. He has been retired for a few years now. And we got to talking, and it made me think. I used to go into his office whenever I was on janitorial duty, and I used to clean his office, and we would talk. We would talk about everything from, travel to movies to what we're doing on the weekends, and I really got to know him. And the thing about working anywhere is if you get to know somebody well enough, you almost consider them family, or you look at them like people that you wish you had in your family, right? And I was talking to Deb, and I said, there are very few people that had an impact on my career. And I can remember doing the review for Black Demon, the shark movie, the cautionary environmental shark movie that was out. I think it was on Amazon Prime. And he watched that and he said, I did really good. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Because to me, that means something. But it was cool that he was checking my stuff out. Because, he's an awesome cat. And sometimes you don't realize how many people you could reach. And the same thing is, you don't know how many people impact you. And going back over my career, from where I work now, it almost seems like he had a bigger impact on me than what he thought, because talking to him and doing a good job for him, I mean, I made his day and he would make mine. And sometimes I think, what would Steve do? If I was in Steve's shoes and I was Steve and I had to do the same thing that I'm doing now, how would he do it? And he never had a crossword to say about me. He never had anything negative to ever complain about. And the fact is I walked past where his office was, and there's another dude in there. He's pretty cool, but it's not Steve. And you look at that office and you go, you know what? There's memories. And because of him, I think I'm a better worker, and I think I'm a better all around person. In fact, we went to North Carolina some years ago. And I can remember being a little bit anxious to go on that trip. And I talked to him about it. And he's like, dude, all you got to do is you'll be all right. He goes, I go there a lot. And I said, okay. He made me feel comfortable about driving from Pennsylvania to North Carolina. And the thing of it is I think he did that because I trust him. And when you trust somebody, you actually listen. You don't just hear what they have to say. You listen to what they say, right? And I've known his daughter, Deb, for quite some time. And Deb is like the sister that I wish I would have had. Because she's always there. She's always friendly. My wife hasn't really officially met her yet because of the schedules and the work and whatnot. And she's always there to not only ask me how my day's been, but she listens to me ramble on about this, that, and the other thing. And I just want to say thank you to the both of you, because my career is a lot better because of you guys. And sometimes, just saying hi, isn't enough. Sometimes saying thank you isn't enough. And sometimes, you reflect back on your career and what you do during the day, and you go, you know what? Yeah, I'd be okay if these people weren't in it, but these people make my life a lot better. I have since met Steve's dad, and I've heard that, because Deb, you told me your dad's playing caregiver. And I just wanted to say, if there's anything that you both need, I mean, I don't know what I can do, but I'm here for you. Dawn's here for you. This is the first time I think I've actually give a long personalized shout out. And to be fair, I mean, Steve, we've been trying to get plans, but things have been crazy. I know things have been crazy on your end, but I just want you to know that my career has not been the same since I met you. It's been a lot better. And same thing, Deb. You know, when I fill in and I go do that area, I even if I have a bad day, you kind of like make me forget about everything. And you guys are just awesome people around the board, and I can't stress enough. And Steve's idea, and I'm gonna do it one time, was to dress up, sort of in horror apparel and come out here and go kind of Svengoolie on everybody. And I haven't forgot that either. And I might do that. I'm gonna do that, as a matter of fact, just for Steve. I mean, if everybody likes it, cool, but I'm doing it just for him, and I think that it might make a change. So beyond that, I just wanted to say thank you guys, and I wanted to say thank you, McKenna, and all the people that watch me. I've gotten a lot of people who didn't even know I had a YouTube review show, and I just want to say, I appreciate everybody that supports me. So many people out there, and it's hard to name everybody, but you guys rock. So if you're looking for a good horror flick, or you like vampires, or you like Michael B. Jordan as an actor, I know a lot of ladies like him, so check that out. And again, big shout out to Deb and Steve. Um, Check out Sinners if you got a rainy day coming, or if you have Shudder and you haven't really checked it out yet. Definitely a cool flick. I was very surprised. So, anyway, GW, hope you had a nice weekend. Peace.